This is Patsy DePaula, Product Manager at East Coast. And what I'd like to show you today is some of our major enhancements we have made to AutoCAD MEP 2012 4.0 release. So the four major items I'm going to go over are our auto tagging, double wall duct, hangers for duct, and our undersizing from AutoCAD MEP. The first thing I'd like to take a look at is auto tagging. If I click on duct, start drawing some duct here. If you notice, in 2012, everything has been moved. There's no more add duct dialog box. Everything's been moved to the properties palette here. So I've got my supply duct, 2-inch pressure class, 40 by 18 duct. If I just click on the screen and begin drawing, I can just pull duct around, make my turn. I'm going to maybe decrease some of the duct size here. Let's make it a little bit smaller so you can see the differences here. All right, we'll go down to 30. I'll change this to 12. And I just keep drawing along here, and I'll just hit enter. So now I've drawn all that duct. It goes through and it sets up the duct break, but in between the duct break you can see you're getting all of your sizes for auto tagging, your lengths. Everything's appearing where you need it, your throats. Now you can see some of the stuff gets congested here. Just being because you have a short piece you may want to get rid of or add to the elbow, so I'm just going to add that part to the elbow here. You can see it's nice and clean now, and you can kind of go through and everything's auto tagged. All right, come over here to this transition. I'll select this short piece. We'll modify that. So you can see it gives you the length, top change, flat bottom, so on and so forth. It gives you an elevation for where you started, where you're changing sizes. It's a real nice, clean setup. Now the way I set up this auto tagging is we have an auto tag manager. In the fabrication ribbon here, if I come into Auto Tag Manager, it will show all of the different tags that you've created, annotative tags, in your schedules and tags drawing. Now you can see here I've got a rectangular shape, type is a piece of duct, and I set up the elevation. So when I click on elevation, there's a setup here for how you'd like that elevation tag to place on the duct, okay? If there's any offsets for that elevation. And then here you have a set of rules. So I told this elevation tag I'd like it to appear, you know, on the start of a run, prior to any transitions, after any transitions, and after any duct taps. So it knows when to place that elevation tag. My length tag, I can click on that. You can see I have a setup here and what my offsets are for that elevation, for that length tag, independent, horizontal, and I'd like it on each piece. So each tag has a different setup, right, and a different way of placing. So you can customize this any way you'd like. It's as simple as just dragging these tags back and forth from your palette here. So if I come over, say, H size, my horizontal size tag, I just drag it, place it on any one of these dots. Now it's placed on that dot. Now I can give it a placement, or how I'd like it to orientate to the duct, the tag, and then how many pieces of duct I'd like it to be set on. If I don't want this here, I can just take it and drag it back. It's very simple to use. Now that's for rectangular duct. You can go to round duct, see what you've got for round. You've got oval and multi-shape. So all your parts are here. Now these are all for duct. All the shapes were for duct. If I come under here where duct, I have for transitions. I have it here for elbows, okay, radius or square throat elbows, end caps, right, and takeoffs for taps. So everything is here for you to use to customize and set up your automatic tagging. So out of the box, when you load up the software, it should look like this, okay? Fairly simple to use, tags nice and neatly, great placement. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is hangers, right, duct hangers. What we've done in the system now, if you go into Part Manager, when you load your catalogs, or I'm going to go back to the duct tab, you set up your ducts in your duct tab. You got rectangular, round, oval, and multi-shape. But now you want to bring in your duct hangers, all right? You want to click over to the pipe. Now under the piping, you're going to see down below you have pipe and fittings, flanges, valves, fixtures. So you want to be under the hanger tab. You click on the hanger tab, here's all your duct hangers. A hanger double rod round. Hanger double rod round and seismic, hanger double strap round, hanger single strap, hanger strap round, trapeze with seismic, right? So you've got all the different options here for your hangers in the systems. Now we'll go back into MEP. All right, when we loaded our catalog, it loaded up our hanger setup. So when I click on this duck run, it'll automatically, my ribbon, bring up an Add Hangers icon up in my ribbon. So I'll click Add Hangers. Here in the Add Hanger box is how I can set up how I'd like these hangers to apply. Along the run, select duck forward, or single hanger. How many hangers I want to place, unlimited for the whole run or limited, right? I need my underside of slab elevation. It needs to know floor to slabs 20 feet, 22 feet, 15 feet, so it knows how long to make the hangers from that duct. Upper size limit. I've got a couple sets of hangers here, so I need to tell the software anything over 36 inches, I expect it to go to a trapeze hanger. Anything under 36 inches, I want to use hanger strap. Between straps, I've got 6 foot, 6 inches from the end. Then I'm going to trapeze, 8 foot between trapeze, 6 inches from the end, using rod. Right. So once I just come here and this is all set for myself the way I want to work with the hangers on this project, I'll just hit OK, and the system will go through and place hangers along this duck run that I've drawn and put in my Z hanger strap and then put in my trapeze. So now you can see here I've got hangers along the whole run. So now let's take a look at this duct. I've got 40 by 18, 30 by 12. So I should have my hanger strap here, my trapeze over here. So what I'm going to do is just highlight a run of this duct so you can really take a good look. I'll go to an object viewer and you can see what you're working with here. Now you can see when I rotate this, I've got my trapeze hangers here on the 40 by 18 duct, right? And I've got my Z hangers here on the 30 by 12 duct. Right, my threaded rod, my ends on the rod. Now, if I had to make any type of adjustments on these hangers, I can just come in and select a hanger. You can see here I can make all the different changes and modifications to this hanger. If you're in a coordination meeting, you need to slide a strap, offset a strap over. You can just come in here and say offset that strap 6 inches. You can see my strap moved over 6 inches. Real easy to use. It's as realistic as it can be, and real nice to work with. Okay, so that's hanger straps. Now, the next feature, double wall duct. We've drawn all this duct, but say we needed some of this ductwork to be double wall duct, right? You don't want to have to redraw or reset up all this ductwork. So what we can do is just select some of the duct, and I'm just going to show, go through this as an example. I'm going to select some of this duct here. And I need this duct to be double wall lined. So I'm going to come over here in my properties palette after I've selected it, and I'm going to say I want a 1-inch lining, okay, and double wall. See here my double wall? No. We're going to change that to yes. By changing that right there, it's lined, but it's also all double wall duct now. So now it's going to make an interior fitting and an exterior fitting for me when I download to the CAM software. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to number this duct. Right? So I'm going to come up here. Let's place some numbers. Duct part number, right? Attach, and we're going to go through and number all the rectangular duct. Duct run. Start at piece number 1. Hit OK. I'm just going to select this duct run. Went through, numbered all the duct. Now we're going to create a pick-off for this duct. Fabrication palette. We'll open that up. Right, and let's create a pick-off. Define the pick-off. It's all numbered. True. Okay. Right, I'll come through, swipe all the duct, enter. We've created a pick-off here. So I'm going to right-click and hit Generate. Now I've just generated my double wall duct pick-off. So now I'm going to open up Duct Maker, which is our CAM software. I'm going to go over here on the upper right to my Import tool, and we're going to go to our C drive. We're going to go to our pick-off folder here, and we've got our pick-off file named after our drawing, and I'm going to hit Open. Right, here's all our duct. Okay, now you will see. Now, if you look down the list here, I picked off that whole run. Now, I've changed some of it to double wall, and some of it was single wall. So if you look here and see, you can see how I've got a double image on that transition? I know that's double wall, double wall. Now we scroll down, you'll see there's some more double wall. So that will distinguish the two. Right? If I double click on any of these, let's go look at that transition or a piece of duct, and we go to edit, you'll see on below it gives you your specification, how much the lining is. If it's double wall, it'll say true, and then down below here it'll give you the different types of connections and what you've set up for double wall. Okay, so when you go into the gear tool now, and underneath all your specs, here you got your different specs. I click 2-inch 5-foot. You've got an exterior and an interior. So go into the interior portion of the spec and change the material for these fittings. And say, all right, we're not using galvanized in the interior, we're using perforated. What gauge is this perforated? You know, which one are you here? 24 gauge perf. Is it snap block or is it small Pittsburgh interior? Then go through your rectangular. Set up the different connections now also. You know, we're not going to be using a slip and drive on perforated, probably a 1-inch flange for that 1-inch thickness. Now you can set rules up here as well. Underneath rectangular, you'll come in and you'll hit the plus grip and you'll set up lining rules, acoustical lining for the interior, and say, okay, if the liner, right, is equal to 1 inch liner, right, I want to use a 1-inch flange. Okay, you set that up. Now you'll set up another rule. If that acoustical liner is set up to 1.5 inches, you're going to set up your connector to be 1.5 inches. So now each type of lining you bring in, it would automatically default to those connectors, to that gauge, to that galvanized. So real simple to use. Once you set up your interior spec, you're all set here with double wall. You can see how easy it was in MEP to just add lining, double wall, yes. When it comes in, it's converted. The next thing I'd like to talk about is undersizing. Undersizing. In our 2011 342 release, we had undersizing available, but it was only available in the CAM software. Well, now what we've done is we've moved, if you go into your allowances and you go to round connectors, okay, what we've done is underneath the connector, so we have a big end pipe and a small end pipe. If you double click on any one of these connectors, you can see here in the connector itself, it says size, nominal, right? You can click this to nominal, standard, or undersized. If I set this connector is undersized and I draw with that undersized connector in MEP with my round for my slip fit or my oval, it would automatically undersize all that duct accordingly. By making an undersized connector, using that undersized connector in your spec, you're drawing within an MEP, is how you'll get the undersized part in the system automatically. So we made it really easy to use, where the software is taking care of 90% of any of your changes, right? Under the equivalence table, if we go to round and you click on the equivalence table, you'll see here, this is where you're setting up all your undersizing by 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch. It's getting done here. So now just by telling that connector it's undersized, it will use these undersized settings, right? So by drawing an MEP in any one of the rounds or ovals or different shapes, and by using the particular connector, when you download, it will automatically undersize those parts for you. Thank you for listening, and these are our new features for 4.0. Really excited for everybody to, receive the software and start using it.